Hey guys, Gotham Geek here with the Tacos and Geeks, and I'm so excited to cover HollyShorts. I am with two of the producers who are in the beautiful sunny California right now. The Academy Awards qualifying HollyShorts Film Festival is back for its 18th annual event. Every year, the festival gets bigger and better than the last with a stacked lineup of films to present over 10 days of screening. HollyShorts brings together the top creators, industry leaders, and companies and has launched many filmmakers into the next stages of their careers. The festival is running from August 11th through the 20th at the TCL Chinese Theater in LA. So there's over 400 films on display this year. That's absolutely insane. This is one of the most diverse slates yet, with 161 female directors and 101 people of color directors among the films from this year's program. A press release was sent out announcing the selections, and many of the movies are playing now. So first, you guys want to introduce yourselves? I am with Daniel and Theo from HollyShorts.
Hello.
I'm Daniel. It's Theo.
I'm Theo Dumont, and we're here at the Hollywood Reservoir. It's we just did a little hike with some of the filmmakers from the festival, and last night was a big reception that we had with one of our partners, Festival Formula, at the Hollywood Roosevelt, and that was after a ton of programs, and we're on day 6, and things are going good.
Insane. Yeah. How do you guys stay? How do you eat? How do you relax? How do you stay calm with 10 days of nonstop action?
It's a lot. Yeah. Well, things like this is nice. It's nice to get outside, walk in and try to, be in nature and calm the mind a little bit and get a little exercise in. But yeah, mostly we've learned how to try to pace ourselves and make sure you eat. First thing in the morning, you got to make sure you eat food. If you don't eat and you get your day started without food and a little rest, you're gonna, because it just gets busier and busier. You're getting pulled in a million directions. So you got to make sure you just kind of start that way, and then you're okay.
Yeah,
we're used to it.
Can't imagine taking a hike right now. That's exhausting. That looks so fun.
Annual tradition. Yeah, we started doing it with our friends at Kodak years ago, and unfortunately, the Kodak president is not feeling too good this year. But we kept the tradition going, and it's fun. Also, we feed off the filmmakers. You know, the filmmakers have a lot of energy, and a lot of them are attending all the events and most of the screenings, seeing each other's screenings, meeting new people, collaborating, and so it's almost gets contagious not to have that same kind of energy that they put out. You know.
So, what do you guys look for when you're choosing films and directors to work with?
Yeah, I mean, it's on the programming side. We want to, obviously there's a certain standard of grading and scoring. We have a process of review, so that's sort of something we've been trying to sharpen for many years. But outside of the programming aspect of it, or just kind of the process we have in place, it's some of the films just because obviously yell at you, scream at you. Like if they're that good and they jump out at you with originality, creativity. We've seen movies for 18 years, right? So if something is actually something that feels original to us, that's impressive in itself. Whether it's the theme or story or certain sort of camera use or a film that's made on one shot in a certain way or one take. And there's different kind of ways creatively you can do that, whether it's technically or just otherwise. But yeah, we're looking for films that are not only just social impact and things that matter, but something with a voice from the director that's original, not like, hey, I'm rehashing a film and it's something we've seen before, and it's just trying to like make a film that looks like a Tarantino film or something, imitating another director. That's not as exciting. It's exciting to see someone put themselves out there and showcase an original voice and something that's exciting. And when a film jumps out at you like that, then it's something we're obviously excited about. And we'll program. So it's a little bit of that process, and of course. Very competitive. 400 films, but there's 5,000 submissions. So you're looking at whatever percentage that is. I don't know if that's 6, 7, 8% that make it in. So it's obviously pretty, pretty good company to make it in here.
Yeah, that brings me. Oh, do you want to go?
No, just story is what's critical. You know, convey a great story from beginning to end in a really short amount of time. So you got to capture the audience early. You know, even in features, you got to capture them early, but in shorts especially so. So it's a lot of doesn't just need to look pretty. The story is key here and the execution.
I was going to say, how do you manage putting together such a large scale festival? What can you tell us about some of your key responsibilities, skills, expectations? Like, how do you delegate responsibilities when you have so many films in this festival?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, it's a lot of team is key. You know, key team leaders and key positions is key, is what we've had. Nicole Castro is the other part of this key part of this team, and she oversees a lot of the kind of our human resources and putting people in the right places. And it's just like kind of putting a sports team together. I know we were big sports people from our childhood, and so it's almost like having a sports franchise and kind of visualizing what the season looks like, and then having the key players in the key positions. And sometimes we play general managers, sometimes we play operations, sometimes we're not too proud to lift things at the events and get our hands dirty. And I think that's also contagious with our staff. They'll see us getting busy, and we like to do a lot. We like to also. It's 18 years, so listen. It started off as a just an idea, and then it just started taking off, and people like it. It's almost like a family business, and we grew up together, and we've tried to keep it that way. It's a family business, and the people that we have work with us almost are kind of like our extension of ourselves and our families. And we like to see them put the passion. We like to have fun. We like to work hard, but also have fun at the same time. And then, but the work is important. So it's not really us. It's really about showcasing the creators, and then also creating opportunities for them to advance and meet people. And I mean, just last night, I'll give you a specific example. We put together an event, 2 events. We had 3 events going on at once. Nothing goes perfect, but at the bottom line, the event becomes almost overcrowded. But that's a good problem because people are networking and they're meeting and things are happening real time. Then the Disney premiere is happening next door for She-Hulk. Our alumni is the director of that project, Kat Quaro. She comes to the party. We didn't organize that. And now this is not the first time this has happened. This happened to us like 4 or 5 times.
Being in Hollywood, you're there, we're around all this. So when you're here, when you're there, you're there. And it lends itself to these opportunities.
Yep. The key is the venue. And now the next thing you know, the filmmakers that are next up to be the next versions of Kat Quaro to direct the next Disney project are in the building, and now they're networking with the Disney executives, accidentally, you could say. And then what happens next? One of the guys pitches the Disney executive, one of our people pitches the Disney executive on the spot, and he has a meeting on Wednesday. Wow. So you can't make this up. So I guess it goes back to your question of, I don't know, teamwork, ideas, also being able to go with the flow when things change, and adapting on the spot,
and being where we are. I think that's why we are. We're near the Roosevelt, at Chinese Theater. You're in the midst of Hollywood, so we're in the middle of it all. So there's premieres happening in 10 days. You're going to have 2 premieres in August. You're always going to have two or three premieres, either like Capitan, you have Dolby, you have TCL Chinese IMAX, you have all these screens. You're going to have these big events downstairs on Hollywood Boulevard where all the premieres are and the tourists are. So you're going to run into people. There's access to the industry that way, whether it's incidental or not, whether they're invited, they're at our panels or at our parties, or they're actually at, not at our party, but they end up showing up at our party, and then we already know them, and then we can all schmooze and bring everyone together.
Yeah.
The goal has always been to bring everyone together. It's bringing executives and creatives and like minds together and trying to help them either pursue further avenues in their career or just make new relationships and things like that. So that's really the goal. But on the planning side, yeah, it's just having a good plan, focus on that, and knowing what you need to do and communicate well. Because if you don't, then everything becomes messy and you forget things, or you pay the cost with the added fees for things that you didn't think about. And there's all these things that always happen, but you're always learning every year how to try to improve on that. But yeah, having a good team and Nicole really running the show without her running that show like that, and organizing and talking to filmmakers to give them updates of what's going on and making sure they know what's going on and they're informed consistently of all the things happening. Her process there is critical to that, and it's just a great job at that.
Yeah, I think we also have a competitive advantage of the. Oh yeah, we're seeing some other friends arriving at the hike. They came late, but there's the competitive advantage too is, one, the work is exceptional. Daniel does an amazing job overseeing the film review process and picking the best of the best, right? And then what happens is a lot of those films go on to get to the Academy run, which is amazing, and because of us, right? And we lobby for them and we do events for them. We work hard. We don't just fold up the tent and do it again next year. We do events and screenings to showcase those winners, to give them the shot to get a potential shortlist or nomination and maybe win one day for the Oscar. But at the same time, we built relationships worldwide. We go to other festivals. We represent people in our other lives. We've worked at studios before. Daniel worked at Lionsgate. I worked at MGM. So we have studio relationships. We have streamer relationships that we bring to the fold. So you got that perfect storm of next generation amazing talent, and then also active founders and creators and teammates who are actively, in Hollywood, pitching stuff, pitching ideas, working with the agencies, working with sales agents, working on major motion pictures and series. And so we collaborate those two worlds, and that's what you get is this festival with action. And I also feel that we've helped champion short films, right? There's channels and some streamers. There's some when we started this, shorts weren't really on the radar like this. They happened, but this is pre-YouTube. People didn't campaign for short films. Now they're all campaigning for awards in that category. It's pretty amazing.
With the festival having such a vast array of genres, from romance, comedy, action, drama, sci-fi, even animation, horror, music, documentaries, Black excellence, international, how do you build a selection committee like of diverse backgrounds and people knowledgeable in the industry?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, it's a mixture of well, it's really all it's us trying to do that, but also at the same time, we're lucky that people are coming our way, and we have a growing team. We used to do this really as really just us mostly, and we had our little intimate group of family and friends that we trusted that would watch films with us. We do it every week. It would be more of that kind of vibe. Get some pizza, get together once a week, and stay the whole day watching films, like 15 hours, and just like morning to night. It was just 2 or 3 meals. We're just coffee, then drinks, and beer and pizza, and then watching films all day. And it's obviously expanded from that. We're in different places, people all over the world now. There's Zoom and things, so you can be remote watching films from all the world. We're sending links now. We don't have DVDs anymore. It's all that stuff. But we have grown the team. The review team now, we're talking 30 people or so that we feel we trust their work, and we've interviewed them. We do an interview process to find people that we think can handle this process or want to help, and review stuff and report to us weekly or bi-weekly. We do calls and do Zoom calls to go over what films they feel are films I need to watch, or Theo needs to watch, and we need to make sure we check out. So yeah, we in that process, we want to make sure we're finding people from all backgrounds. We're not just looking to, hey, we need to, we want to make sure we do that. And that process is a selection process, not just they come to us and we pick anyone. We want to make sure that they're ready for this, they understand what this is. And that opportunity is that there's more voices and people that are watching films that can give different opinions. Because I don't want to be just, hey, I'm the person, I just pick everything. Yeah, we program, and I know the films, and I have a good understanding of this and what we were looking for. And granted, that's all great, but still, it's best to have more voices and more people give opinions to help with that process. So it's not just myself, Theo, and it's 2 or 3 people. It's a wider array of people that are finding something that, hey, you know what, this is something interesting. This is something that should be shown, and this is why. And so it's a better open dialogue that way. And it's I think it's helped make things a bit more, I guess, creative, if you will, or with the programming being more vast or more expressing a different voice, I guess. I'm not explaining that part right. I'm trying to get to the right word, but I'm not finding it. But yeah, I think you know what I'm saying. But yeah. So that team that we have that's grown is a really, really good team.
And working with BitPix, like the virtual aspect, was this a way to adapt to COVID?
That's a good question. Yeah, we had the idea pre-COVID before, and now it's been up and running and doing pretty good. So good that I don't even remember the infancy, but we started it, I think, maybe 5-6 years ago. Yeah. There was a version of it. We had the app. We were showcasing shorts online. Then it wasn't that great, and then COVID was looming, and then we realized we wouldn't have a physical festival without it. Yeah, so we accelerated making it better, and it became a platform that's available on most of the app destinations, app stores, and then online. And so we did 2020 that way, 100%. We did also like we did a drive-in, and then but all the films were on BitPix. We gave it an aggressive push, and virtual talks, all that stuff. And then last year, obviously COVID 2021 was still happening, but things were starting to open up again. We delayed the festival until a later date. We're normally every August. We did it later on, I think it was like September, October, and then we also had it hybrid. So that's something we've kept, and we keep on pushing. And this year, I feel like the streaming is even better. The panels and the conversations and the workshops that we're doing are even more clear, and they're featured on BitPix. So people that can't make the trip or don't feel it's safe to travel can watch the films online and the talks, and they'll be available on there even after the festival for people. And it's a good tool too for people. Listen, we only show the films once just because of the volume we have. If you miss the screenings, you can watch them online.
Yeah, I think it's become a thing where now there's the expectation for festivals now, and this is all how life is in business in general, adaptation. We maintain this now. Now everyone's expected to do both, not just have the in-person experience, but have a virtual experience so people can take in the films, and it adds another layer. Yeah, as Theo mentioned, we show films once, so we don't do multiple screenings of the films. This way, is there multiple screenings? You can show films throughout the time frame. It's a window, and they can see the films through the festival and even a little bit beyond. We'll do a week extra, and then it's over and it's done. You can't see them anymore. So it adds an exclusivity and an element of time sensitivity. But you have a chance to see films more than once and gives more exposure to those films too. So if someone loves them or has a chance, I missed the festival, I couldn't make it, I can still see them. And oh yeah, I like this film a lot. I want to meet that filmmaker. Some executive or an agent wants to see something, they have access. So that adds value overall. So now this is something that's kind of here to stay. You do both. You do the in-person experience, and that's fun, and that's an event, and all the things that come with being an event in person somewhere, shaking hands in person, face to face, seeing films in a big screen, and that experience of a shared audience. And then you have, of course, the online aspect where people can see things virtually and have a chance to take that in. And also the panels, the live stream stuff is great. People love it. They can sit, log in and watch. If you just couldn't make it from France or your film's there, but you really want to learn about this topic and you can't make the festival, you can still watch that same panel and take it in live, or just watch it recorded the next day and it lives the whole time. So that has really been great. So the panels are now something people can take in. If you're not there, you can get all the experience of being at the festival without being there, except of course just the fun part, I guess, of being around other people and any drinks or partying. You can't do that, but you can do about everything else. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and then beyond that, we're open for business there. Like it's not just exclusive to HollyShorts. I can visualize a version of BitPix that can get a takeover from other festivals and other friends. So it's still growing.
Yeah, and that's a great way, I guess, like to make, like you said, like immersive, like for people that couldn't make it out. And then like, let's say if there were two screenings at the same time, now you're like, yes, I could still watch that movie.
Yeah,
100%.
yeah, exactly.
Or you meet somebody fun and you miss their screening, you could catch it later.
Yeah, and then so they all shared because they all have access to log in with their pass, so the pass gets you access there as well. So you say, look, I couldn't make a screening, I missed it, but I get a chance to go see it here. Go see it over there. Okay, great. I'm gonna log in and watch it now, and I can do that because I have my access. So that's what we want to grant access. It's very important for us to grant access to filmmakers to all of these things, and that's a big part because not every festival does that. It's like you get maybe half a pass, maybe only some things, but you can't go to that. I've been to a lot of festivals where there's a lot of denial of access, which I get surprised. We're all about it. You made it, you're in, then you're going to get access to all of this, unquestioned. Now everyone else, they have to buy tickets and whatnot, audience, but the filmmakers, that's your acceptance is also that badge, is get you all these things, and we want to make this a very big experience and a full-on red carpet experience for our creators. That's a very big part of what people have fun with it and also feel excited to be there. It's an important element to it.
And what do you believe is the most important quality to have, like as producers?
Patience.
Yeah, I think that's yeah. So I think that's the biggest, and always something I'm working on and trying to work on and learn every day. I think he's the more patient one than me. So
both of us, we're always learning. Also, that's another thing, is always adaptability. The thing changes a lot. When we started this, it was prints, physical prints, films, in a different format, adaptability, it was changing into digital. We were shocked at that change at first. We have to adapt, filmmakers change, creators change, the way of telling stories change. Podcast is a new category for us. We're looking at that. Everything, everything, there's always a new version of storytelling. So I think patience.
Yeah, there's also, there was a time when 3D was something we thought was big time or going to grow into something, and now 3D is literally nothing. If 3D fell off, I don't even know. 3D is just completely off the map now. There was a time when 3D was like the thing, and there was a window, 2009 to 13 or 14, when it was like a heavy focus for the theatrical business was 3D. They were making movies and just cramming 3D down our throats. But yeah, I was in distribution at that time. It was like, get it on 3D, make sure our shows are on 3D. Extra revenue, 3D. It was like, my goodness. And so we even had shorts. We screened films in 3D. We had some blocks of 3D. It was kind of cool and a novelty thing, but it ended up being just that novelty. It's gone now. No one cares for that. That is not something. We don't have submissions anymore. We added a category. We obviously got rid of that. So there was a time when that happened. It comes and goes. So what's going to be the new thing? Is it VR? Is it podcast? Podcasts are obviously a big thing in this business now with IP and telling stories. It's a new medium. So you have to always be aware and open to those things. And then on top of that, also relationships. Producing is a relationship thing. For a director, and there's part of it, but a creative is you need to have good material and really know your material and be smart about it, be technical, have a good sense of your craft. But for the producer side, it's some of that, but it's really about being good with people and putting people together, because you're bringing people together to do something. from all over, different walks of life, backgrounds, skill sets, all those things, understanding what people are good at and putting them in positions to succeed. So it is a relationship aspect is probably the third part of that. I'd say something to add to that.
Yeah, I would probably add a couple more skills is problem solving. You know, you got to be able to solve a lot of problems in a short amount of time. And also, yeah, problem solving for sure. And then just doing multiple things simultaneously. We get a lot of things happening at once: screenings, talks, conversations, you know, voting, jury, links watching, managing reviews, managing PR and marketing. So it's, you know, it's almost like, I don't know. So just being able to do many things at once and well, and being able to do something from start to finish well. And so that's really the job.
And do you have any sorry, I was gonna say, what's like one of the biggest challenges you faced bringing this festival to life?
Biggest challenge we faced and how we overcame it. There's a lot of them.
There's been 18 years of things that have some small, some bigger, some very big. There's yeah, there's some, yeah. I mean, early on, the early years, the first few years, it was things of we did this literally as just a labor of love and an idea, and starting something, trying it, right. So there was no funding, there was no. It was just like, hey, let's do this. And I was in college, still finishing up, and still in college. He was done with college already. We just new to LA, basically. So you know, there was issues of costs of things. There was some stuff that came up that we couldn't really afford. Thankfully, family that help with some of these costs to cover things to put us out of a jam. You know, to be able to keep, because yeah, if you don't maintain that and keep it going there, and something happens, you have to shut things down. This stops, right? So there's always these moments of, if this doesn't go well and you have to like just cancel something, the word gets out, it's over. It's kind of like a thing we have to maintain. This is word of mouth for many years, so people realize, okay, this was a good event, this is what happens. But if it's bad, if people come away saying, yeah, that was terrible, this happened, that can destroy all the time spent in the work built. So there's been these kind of moments over time. And there was the issue of streaming. Once we had a problem with the guy we brought in to stream some content and handle the new process of transitioning from DVDs and Betacam to new media, which was now the QuickTime and doing files off the computer. This was at the time a novel idea, like, wow, we can show movies off a computer or something, like off drives. Like, what is this? So that didn't go well because the person talked a good game but didn't actually know what he was actually really doing. So we trusted him. We thought he sounded like he knew what he was doing. But then when the moment came of the, you know, lights are on, the moment, right? Opening night, and we were there, and there were 1,000 people, and a crazy night, all the celebrities, carpet, all this stuff. And then, yeah, it wasn't going too well, and he was having some major problems. Yeah, the films weren't working, it weren't playing. So I felt in that moment there, I thought that was the night. I was like, oh, this is all gonna, I think, come crashing down. I was kind of like, I was not happy. It was rough. We used to, that filmmaker friend of ours came up, and he helped us, and he like solved the problem for this guy and kind of fixed the error of his ways, and it worked out. We were okay. That's behind the scenes. No one really knew what was going on there, except, oh, what's the delay? We're not waiting, but we're over there freaking out.
This is not, he's sugarcoating it. This was at one of the biggest theaters in Hollywood, which got shut down, and they're bringing it back right now. This was at the
Cinerama Dome.
Cinerama Dome, yeah. And you know, in Hollywood, and this was like, you know, 700, 800 people in the audience. So it could have came crashing down that night.
And it was a big carpet, hours of carpet, and everybody, and there were celebrities there, all these things. So, an excitement of opening nights. It's a lot of hype, a lot of hoopla, a lot of energy is so high. And
yeah, and it teaches you a lesson too. It's just like putting on a Broadway show or a musical. You know, people don't know what happens behind the curtain. All they see is the execution. So you have to keep your cool.
Yeah, but again, they see the movies, everything seemed fine. Everyone had a great time after party. All the problems we had that night, it was such a stressful night for us. We were just wrecked at the end of the night. And then the crew left us there by ourselves, breaking all the stuff down. So we were there till like 4 a.m. And then we had to wake up the next day at 7 to go set up for the 9 a.m. It was a rough night for us. And, you know, no one really knows what that is, and they don't see that part, right? The production side of the issues of the scratching on the floor and having to pay the fee. It was all these silly things, getting the rentals back, and then just 2 hours before, we were thinking this is all going down. This is this full house of people buying all these expensive tickets, and there's no movies to show. We're in trouble. You know, so yeah, but no one saw all that, so they don't know. So everything was fine for the audience, thankfully, in the end. Yeah, like the behind the curtain thing, you don't know what's going on behind the curtain. So that's. Yeah, it was okay, but for us, we were pretty tired, pretty stressed.
And anything else you guys would like to mention?
Well, BitPix. Watch all the films on BitPix, and you can enjoy the festival if you couldn't make it. Our dates are going to be August 10th through 19th, 2023, next year. Submissions will start rolling in probably like a month after the festival.
Yeah, end of September.
End of
September.
Watch
early bird.
HollyShorts.com. Follow us at HollyShorts on Instagram and Twitter, and we're also on Facebook. And just keep making great work and submit. And we also have a screenplay competition, and those screenplays get made into short films that we show the next year here. So we showed 2 that we made last year from the competition.
Yeah.
One with our partners in the UK, Hawk Films,
yeah.
And then the Seattle Film Summit sponsors the other one. And so we're gonna do that again in 2023.
Yeah, so there's some winners coming up. The award show is August 20th. This is coming Saturday. So we'll announce those winners of obviously all the Oscar qualifying categories and all the other prize categories, and of course the screenplay contest as well. Which very proud of that contest. Has grown a lot. Great screenplays, but having a chance to have these scripts produced in these different prizes, just for a female screenplay category, that the winner also gets made, and we give cash and a camera prize from BCine, and they're amazing to sponsor our camera package for free with $10,000. It's amazing, so they can make their film. So we want to get these films made. So there's these 3-4 winners. Of the category of the contest are getting produced. So it's a really, we're pretty proud of the screenplay contest, how much it's grown, and having these opportunities to work with these partners to get these films made. It's pretty neat. So there's that, along with of course the Academy qualifying stuff on the 20th for those winners. And we still have more films and things coming up today. Program starts probably in a minute now for the first show. With the Golden Age block, and then of course throughout the day we have action films today, and thriller, and TV and student films today. So it's TV pilots, some great projects today, and through the rest of the next few days, and great panels still next few days, and all that good stuff. So if anyone's in town or wants to be able to participate in Los Angeles, or come on down. We're still going for another 4 days or so till the 20th. So we're very excited and happy that travel is back and people are coming from all over the world. It's pretty cool.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for your time, guys. Super excited to check out more of the films.
For having us.
Yeah, definitely.
Appreciate it.
Check them out.
Thank you, and come next year. Come see us.
Oh my God, yes.
Be there, but obviously for now, yes, you need to be on BitPix watching. That's it. But for now, but next year you're in person.
Oh yeah, and I want to try to hike.
Yes,
we'll be out here. We'll be out here.
More people next.
We saw a bunch of deer.